Two whoop salute to Western Wolf, an awesome fan of Lego that definitely keeps it janky with thought motions, vlog style content, plus the video you see here. I know what you may be thinking. It might be a little biased for me to give Western Wolf a shout out because he made a video on us, but I gotta say, he's got some awesome content. Go check it out.
I might have to go to the bathroom again, but you'll know it when it happens because I'll stand up and leave the room. I don't have to now. I said I might later.
All right. Yeah. Claire in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to episode 45 of Cali Brick Clique. You might recognize a recent guest who we decided to have back on because he's absolutely the best to hang out with and one of our closest friends, and absolutely did not get through his numerous lists of or numerous itemized lists of things that we want to talk about last time we were here. So Josh is back on, and after an exorbitant amount of bantering, we have decided to hit the record button while I'm in the kitchen. So apologies for any noise issues whatsoever, but in case the audio is too crappy on this episode, please make sure to check out all of our other episodes on Spotify and everywhere else you can find podcasts. And yeah, enjoy. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some recent news, transitioning from Halloween into Christmas and getting ready for the holiday. Josh has kind of one-upped everybody with his Halloween special. And I'm here with Shy, Ninja, and Josh.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh, boy. You put some qualification expectations. Man. People are...
We're supposed to, like...
What? Did I finish? Is the episode over? Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on episode 46 of Cali Brick Clique.
We've got a 20-minute episode, whether like this has been a 20-minute episode, whether or not we're 1 minute in for you all. We're a lot of minutes in for us.
Anyway, we're done.
Intro
she did that in like 20 seconds. We're only 40 seconds in.
I'm cool with the pre-intro. I'm good with all that.
You like it? Okay, cool.
My favorite part of the intro was Claire saying, and if this episode's not good, just go listen to a different one. It's probably better than this one. We haven't made this one yet. And she's like, go find another one. If you don't like, if you get like a minute into this one, there's a better one out there, I promise. Go listen to Jen's episode.
No, but seriously though, I'll be muting on and off though, because I'm going to be making some shrimp noodles.
Is that the Whole Foods brand of shrimp there?
Yeah. Here's a shout out to an Austin brand.
Someone's San Francisco fancy right there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'll be back. You guys take it away. Actually, let's talk a little bit about the latest. I bought Home Alone. What did you guys get?
Breaking it down.
Wow,
Shy?
Bruce out there. Yeah, I got Home Alone. It's on its way already. I was not expecting them to charge me like that night. Like literally, I've been so used to Lego being behind on their shipping and processing their order, especially for some reason, like the West Coast gets their stuff later than everybody. But like, I was like, okay, you know what? I can go out for In-N-Out today. And then as I'm going in and out, just kidding, I can't go to In-N-Out today. Let me turn it back around. They like charge me right away. So I would check the tracking. You should be here like any day now, which is the first, like literally all year.
Well, now I'm thinking of topics because it's about Lego and finances, because you guys touched on this a bit in the last episode, which I was taking notes on. I'm sure everyone who listens to your episodes take notes on them in case they are a guest themselves and have more commentary than can be left in a YouTube comment. But I will first let Ninja tell us what Ninja bought on the November 1st releases.
Oh, take a wild guess.
Not a damn thing.
No.
Batmobile.
Nothing.
You didn't buy
other
it.
Batmobile.
I dodged. There's a lot of nice stuff out there, but I dodged all of it. Zoop, zoop,
Maybe it has control on like the rest of us.
No.
No.
Because I'm here to tell you that I also showed some self-control, and also my wife said I'm not allowed to buy anything in November.
Okay, there you go.
Yes. And so at the beginning of November, for the first time in a long time, I bought nothing.
Oh my God. How does it
That's
feel?
not to say...
How does it feel?
It actually feels good because...
It feels good, right? It's so weird. It feels good to not buy Lego.
I'm literally sitting next to probably $300 of sets from the August 1st release that I didn't get around to building. I've got the Infinity Gauntlet. I've got the big gray Star Wars ship. I've got the Bird of Paradise thing. Like those, I was so excited for in August. And I bought them in August. And they've been sitting here and I haven't had time or space to build them.
Yeah, just backed up. Yeah.
And so like I'm actually excited that I didn't buy anything in November, but I'm still going to get the Technic Batmobile and probably the small Batmobile.
Yes.
Interesting. I have heard people are not like Sans is not interested in the Technic Batmobile. I think he said it looked like a loaf of bread or turd, something, one or the other.
I think
low for what it's supposed to be.
I don't know. I want to see the movie. It's kind of growing on me. It's weird.
I don't know. I'm comparing it to like the Dodge Charger, and it's just not. It's a cool build, and so it looks all right. It looks decent. That's the thing. It doesn't look like super cool to me. It's just
I don't see Batman when I see that thing, but maybe because I haven't seen the movie.
I hadn't actually watched any trailers for the movie, but I saw one. I was seeing Dune, which is good. I was seeing Dune, and they showed a trailer for the Batman. And I don't usually watch trailers in my spare time, but I saw a Batman trailer, and I was like, all right, never mind. I kind of really want to see this now.
It looks,
and I like the aesthetic of it. Yeah. It made me want that Batmobile. And I think what I really want is like another like $100 Technic vehicle build. I like vehicles. I couldn't care less about buildings. Like the Home Alone set, I appreciate it. I look at it, but like I don't like buildings that much. And also, like everyone like loves Home Alone all of a sudden. That's never been like a Christmas staple for me. Like I haven't seen Home Alone since I was a kid.
I think
I've got a lot of Christmas movies that I watch every year at Christmas. Home Alone's not one of them.
Am I the only one in that?
I think you're alone on that, Shy.
Wait, what are you alone on?
I like Home Alone 2 better than 1. Is that bad?
Yeah, get out.
Is that the one? Is that Lost in New York? You can't get out. You're one of the hosts of the show.
What about 3 though? No one likes fucking.
That didn't even have Macaulay Culkin in it, did it? That had the kid with the remote control cars.
A random, yeah.
Right, I'm back. My feelings aren't hurt anymore.
But they also did a reboot of the show, or they made it into a show on Netflix.
Really?
I believe it's Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this recent?
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix,
what's on Netflix? We can't get away
Bright
from
for the first time. You
saw
seen that movie? Bright.
The Will Smith movie?
Yeah.
Isn't he like he's the Korg species from the Thor movie, right?
What?
Someone that's listening to this episode will get that reference. He looks like a rock creature.
Yeah, he looks like it. Creature. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I've seen
Smith?
it in that movie. Yeah,
he does.
He looks like Korg.
Yeah, not him.
Someone looks like an ogre, right? There's an ogre in the movie or something.
Okay, yes. Okay, it's pretty much traditional fantasy with elves and orcs, but in present day time.
Interesting.
That sounds
really
traditional.
I didn't really think it was going to be dope, but it was actually really good. So I recommend anybody here who's into dwarves, orcs, or D&D, Warhammer, or any other, or Lord of the Rings, watch Bright, because that's like that put into present day.
Okay.
Y'all a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Let's get back on topic about the hundreds of dollars that we spent on Lego this month.
See, I was trying to
or not. He's trying to dodge it.
I was trying to dodge that. Well, look, I'm in the same boat. Like I think the haul that I'm eventually now I feel ashamed to post was pretty much it. Like the only news, and that was like from a month ago worth of buying. Like the only thing I recently purchased was a thing from Brickmania, and then the Home Alone.
How much was that?
I was just gonna say,
a thing from Brickmania. Come on.
Price.
Same price. See,
maybe just under
same price as the new AT-AT or what?
Oh no. I'm trying to hold back from spending like past a certain amount. But Speaking of the AT-AT, that got leaked.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a few minutes after I talk about my November plans.
Oh wow. Okay, fine. Josh is taking over the show.
Look at this. I like this.
I want to get into the AT-AT. I have opinions about the AT-AT.
Let's let Josh talk.
No, I have opinions about the AT-AT. This isn't my video. This is our video. We're all a part of this, except for Claire, who is literally cooking a meal in her kitchen. But cooking streams are very popular on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's a lot of
educational.
Are there a lot of like cooking podcasts? That one might be harder to sell. But I feel like a hypocrite, and I just want to get it off my chest before we get too deep into this thing. Because I said I wasn't going to buy a lot of Lego, and I didn't at the beginning of November. But at the end of October, I did buy Lego that I wasn't planning to buy because Harry Potter had stinking promos if you spend $100,
right.
which is I think is still extending into November in most places. And to get this little Gryffindor dorm room, I spent $100, and that's why there's Harry Potter brickheads behind me, because everything else Harry Potter is sold out on Lego's website. And so I bought a chess set and I bought some brickheads so that I could spend $100 on Harry Potter so that I could get a tiny dorm room.
So, marketing got you.
Wasn't there like controversy about that promo or something? Or is that a different promo?
Yeah, no, I think that was the same. That was the same one, right? That was the one that was supposed to release, and it kind of got taken off the calendar.
It was off the calendar, and then it's back on.
Okay, yeah.
I guarantee, knowing that or seeing it now, I feel like the person who put on the calendar messed up.
Most likely, yeah.
That was.
Weren't you saying? You were saying you think they were like saving it for like a later month when there's something else.
True fan.
I've listened to the episodes. Most my notes that I'm going to talk about are going to be related to Sai's recent episode.
Yeah, so say he has notes, you know.
But I assume you all have notes. We're all professionals here, right?
Of course, nothing but the most.
I mean, I feel like we disappointed you earlier before we started the episode, and how unprofessional we are.
I hope that everyone that's a guest. I hope everyone listening at some point gets a chance to be a guest on the show so they can look behind the curtain a little bit and be like, wait a minute, these dudes have been consistently making this show for almost a year at this point. They're still just winging it before.
He just throws under the bus for the people that are not guests.
Don't worry, there's a very heavy level of editing that is like
true.
Seamless in the actual episode. So none of this will make it in.
That's true.
Claire, whenever you're ready to do the intro of the episode, we are ready to start.
Bring us on in. Roll that music.
I'm making noodles.
You should just bring the camera and just do an overhead shot of what you're cooking.
And that's not the only way that I'm a hypocrite, y'all. I'm also a hypocrite in another regard. Because I have been publicly saying that as someone who makes content around Lego, it's important to also reserve some Lego for yourself, right? Be like, this set's just for me. I'm not building this on stream. I'm not making a video about this. But in that regard, I was like, the advent calendars, those are for me. Because they come out in October or something, but you're meant to build them in December, right? Well, someone has already started several of their advent calendars for this year.
What?
That hypocrisy, thy name is Josh, which is a coincidence because my name is also Josh. Here's the thing. A lot of us here have children. Others of us here have Sanses. And so
that's fair.
Those children have a very hard time waiting to crack open an advent calendar. And so I waited until the double VIP weekend or whatever, or the week. And I was like, this is a good time to pick up the advent calendars. Might as well. I was going to get them anyway. And so I got them. And I've got 4 of them here. I got the Harry Potter, I got City, I got Marvel, and I got Star Wars. And they've been sitting around my office for a long time. My 4-year-old, my oldest kid, he comes in constantly and he's like, let's do the calendars. I want to do the calendars because I promised him that every day we'll have new Lego builds, right? That's a hard thing to promise a 4-year-old. They have no concept of time or patience. Nope. And so it got to the point where literally it's the end of October and he's like, can we just skip to December? And I was like, we'll miss Halloween. You want to do Halloween. We'll miss Thanksgiving. And he's like, that's okay. And I was like, we can't skip to December unless we have a time machine. And he's like, okay, so let's get a time machine. And I was like, where could we get a time machine? And he was like, the time machine store? And I was like, that may be hard to do. Can you think of anywhere else we can get a time machine? And he's like, Target, they sell everything. And I was like, that's a good point. And so we legitimately went to Target.
Did he really say this?
100%. He's the cutest kid in the world.
A smart kid.
So we 100% went to Target looking for time machines. I was just looking for DeLoreans personally. I was like,
yes. Okay.
Yeah, I just want a DeLorean toy. And then it'd be an excuse to show him Back to the Future, like despite the like minor cursing in the movie. But like we went to Target looking for time machines. Couldn't find any. No DeLorean toys.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we couldn't skip to December, but okay, just brag about it there,
Flex.
Claire.
Look at that price tag too. Not bad.
That's a Walmart price tag. We went to Target.
Do better, Claire. Come on.
I know, right?
All of this led to the beginning of November, where he's like, let's open some calendars, and I was like, it's not December yet, buddy. And then I was like, okay, I have a compromise for you. How about we pick 2 of the calendars that we'll do in November and 2 of them that we'll do in December? And so he picked 2, and we're doing Star Wars and City in November, and then in December we're doing Marvel and Harry Potter.
Nice.
Okay.
And so as much as I berated other people publicly online about starting advent calendars before December, I have now done the same.
You are now.
Yeah, apparently.
Can I tell you what I took from all that?
Please.
You're the dad.
What I took is that you use your child as an excuse to go to Target to the
okay.
toy aisle.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Oh, me and my kids spend so much time in the toy aisle, and I always go, where do we go first? And they're like, the Lego aisle. I'm like, right. And then we can look at your Paw Patrol toys.
Yes, I do this. My kids do the same thing. They're like,
because the Lego aisle is like, it's like,
first, okay, like okay.
Yeah, Lego is like in the middle of the toy section. So if you stop where they want to stop, you're at the baby toys and the Playmobil stuff. No offense, Claire.
Okay. I'm taking.
That is so.
You gotta
true.
get
So
deep in there to
bad.
get to the Lego stuff. I'm like, let's hit the Lego stuff, and then like I'll pick up a set, or I'll like grab a bunch of like CMF bags, and I'll get to feel those up while they're playing with Paw Patrol and Jurassic Park.
It's all about the strategy. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to share my last. It's kind of off topic. My last Target run, I ran.
We're trying to stay on topic here, Shy. Come on.
I keep diverting this. I just want to say because I'm gonna forget it. My last Target expedition for Lego, I ran into an AFOL who was obviously an AFOL.
Oh my god, how fun!
And she would not admit it until I started asking specific questions.
Why?
I guess because one, she was older, way older than me, and she kept like saying that it was like for her kids and her family, but like the line of questioning I would ask her, I'm like,
oh my god, you are so
fan.
pushy. What did you say?
No, just like like making mocks, like what is Bricklink, stuff like that.
You are pushy.
What? No, but I was being strategic.
He's making friends.
Yeah. I didn't want to like push her. Like I wasn't trying to be like you're the. Oh, you're a fan.
Remember how you pushed me into making haul videos? That's why I'm saying you're pushy.
Yes.
Did you promote your own YouTube channel in the Target aisle?
Yeah, were you like, FYI, SHYtimeisMytime?
Oh no,
Did you promote this podcast?
Yeah.
I never plug myself in. I can personally never do that.
No, you can't. You don't. It's just, no, we're just making fun of you.
I only plug myself in private also.
Now I forgot.
Oh.
You were being pushy to the Lego aisle.
Like I was able. I like once I said, like her demeanor changed when I said I was a fan of Lego.
Oh.
Like when
did she not guess that by you being in the Lego aisle?
Well, presuming I have my kids with me, so they thought, But in reality, the kids were just waiting for me to choose what I wanted, and then we're gonna go to where they wanted, which is the aisle two aisles over. But like when I was starting to talk AFOL talk with the acronyms and like the new stuff, then she was like, "Wait."
Did she know, or did she look like overwhelmed? She was like, "What is all this AFOL mock and
no?
Do I have a booger? What is?"
She was just hiding the stuff, and that was the thing that was amusing me. It was how far will this go? How far are you gonna lie?
Interesting.
Before you tell me that you're a fan of Lego.
So
that older lady in the Lego aisle, that was Claire the whole time, and that's how they met. And then they started a podcast together.
So, quick question though: Did she buy anything? Or did she leave? Like, I'm
the woman was significantly older. Hold on.
It's makeup. Makeup is
Claire's only like 8 months older than me. She bought the Taj Mahal, the architecture one.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said it was for her son. That's a lie.
Lies. Kids don't build that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no. No. All right, so back to the topic. What?
What was the topic? Oh, when I'm in the Lego aisle with my kids, their favorite thing to do, which is very funny. I have a 4 and a 2-year-old. Their favorite thing to do in the Lego aisle is they'll go, "Oh, we have that one at home. We have that one, and we have that one." And I kind of like, I use it as an excuse to flex. Like, I hope someone else is in the aisle too, because my kid will be like, we have that one. And I'll be like, right. And that one, and that one, and that one. And someone else will be like, this dude has a lot of Lego. But the funny thing is, my 2-year-old, who does everything that the 4-year-old does, will be like, we'll be in the store and he'll be like, we have that one. And I'll be like, sure we do, buddy. But he'll also do the same thing at home. Like, he was pointing to these Harry Potter sets and he was like, we have that one at home, but like in an adorable 2-year-old voice. And I was like, yes, we do have that one at home because we are currently at home and you're pointing to it that like we have it right now. And I was like, kids are funny. Kids are cute.
Yeah. Or it looks like you have a miniature store in your store or in your office.
Yes.
Because you have a lot of
Lego
boxes.
aisle. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a Lego aisle because most of my Lego is in a storage unit. You know who else has a storage unit? Cy O'Connor. I'm so proud of Cy.
Last episode. Huh?
I literally took a note when I was listening to the last list episode, and Cy had said something about like, we got a storage unit, and I wrote down, maybe I said this in a comment. I was like, I'm so proud of Cy for having a storage unit because Claire is constantly like, the visual clutter is stressful. And the last thing we need is for this darn hobby of ours that already costs us so much money and so much time to also cost us some of our mental well-being and our ability to speak.
Wow.
Like, we don't need this hobby to cost us more than it already does, right? And
No,
so like,
we don't. No.
if Cy took a step,
pay to like be stressed out, you know?
right? And I would pay twice the cost of my storage unit just for the peace of mind that it brings me to not have all of that stuff like in this small space where I'm trying to live and work every day.
I mean, that makes sense, especially like if you have a lot of stuff, like you said.
Yeah, and obviously, this is a first world problem, or like 1% of the first world problem of having too much Lego to fit in our home offices or whatever. But like, I was proud of Cy for taking that step. Mm-hmm. Partially, it enables you to be like, well, now I could get more because the extra stuff I'll just put in the storage unit, right?
And then you're gonna run out of space eventually.
What happens? Yeah, when the storage fills up, you're gonna get another one, upsize.
It depends. He said he got a pretty decent sized space.
Yeah,
mine's only like 10 by 15, and I can fit a lot of Lego in there.
Yeah, you can fit a lot.
Oh yeah, 10 by 15. Yeah, that's.
And now that it's fall in Texas, it's actually cool enough that I can go to the storage unit and spend some time in there organizing stuff.
Oh yeah, because is it not climate controlled?
No, I could have. That's a bit more money, but like Lego doesn't really. It doesn't degrade because of
the heat.
Heat, right? So
yeah, it's not direct sunlight, also. So
no, so it'll be fine without climate controlled, but
okay.
It's now cool enough that I can get some extra shelving from Home Depot, which is like, come on, now we're like too many levels deep into this hobby where I'm like, I need shelving for my storage unit so that I can store the Lego that's not even in my own house.
Yeah, but you can see the storage unit as like an extension of your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, extended studio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And it's also like, it is cheaper to get a storage unit than it is to buy a new house. It is cheaper to get a storage unit than it is to move. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, or to like build an addition to your house. But there is no long-term, investment value in having a storage unit.
Well, if I recall, in that previous episode, someone asked Claire, do you wish you had less Lego? To which she responded, I wish we had twice the space. Which is the most apt response I can think of, because this might as well be a financial advice podcast at this point, because that's applicable to finances. Because it's like, do you live above your means, or do you like make your lifestyle fit your income and your budget?
Right. It's not how much you make, it's how much you spend.
Yeah. Right. And I've always been, I mean, this probably shows just in my general lifestyle and demeanor, I've always been at the point where I want the things I want, and I'm like, let's find a way to make the money that we need to make so that I can have all of the things I want, instead of saying, okay, I'll get less of what I want to fit the money that I make.
Which is like a different way of like goal projecting and, you know, basically like dreaming big and in a very like rudimentary way. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I think it's good to have that. And I think that's really important. Like, even though, you know, I'll preach on here being like, you know, we spend too much, blah, blah, blah. This is like a bad habit that we've created for ourselves. The reality is like, if this is something you want, work for it and push for it. You know what I mean? And use that as motivation, which is really important. And it's like, people need that. And you like, you know, put it in front of you, look at it every day, look at, you know what I mean? And like, actually be constructive, like put this podcast down and do something beneficial for your life. You know what I mean?
Turn it off right now.
Yeah, right now.
It'll be something else.
Walk away.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's just like, if we can like just remind people to just like get up, and if you're able-bodied, you should be up, you know, and it's like, you should be working if you can, if you're able-bodied and of able mind, and working towards what it is that you want. Yeah, I think it's important, because it's like what you want and what your family wants is really important. Even these material, stupid little bricks, it's important to focus on that if that's what drives you. If what drives you is like sending your kids to college without any debt, even better. Or if there's so many things that can drive you forward. Or like, you know, leaving your spouse with passive income so that, you know, if you pass away, their lifestyle doesn't need to change. There's so many things that can push you forward. And it's just like, just get the fuck up and do it. You know, it's just like, I don't know, do it. That's my motivational speech.
Wow. I feel like you were hitting at all the people who were hating on us for buying too much Lego.
Yeah, I mean, like,
no, I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're out here working to get that.
Real, that's the thing. Like, we've all seen the comments. Like, how do you afford to do all this? I can't believe. Like, for me, when I buy a lot of military stuff, right?
I don't get those comments.
I mean, I've seen them in streams and I've deleted them.
Oh yeah. Maybe I just like black them out.
Yeah. So. Because, you know, I don't really talk in your mockumentaries, but I do.
You mod.
I do mod when Tech says I doesn't. I did it. Thanks for standing up for me on that one. I appreciate it.
Those streams need some modding, man.
I get some weird fuckers. I'm sorry. I already swear. I get some weird people.
Wow. We already used our one for this episode.
Wow.
Yeah. I already. Sorry. Like, let's cut that one. Cut that one out. But
I mean, do I have to?
No. But. Honestly, like there's some weirdos, but anyway, keep going. Yeah, you see the people in chat. Sorry, Shy.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So we all value. We've said this a million times. Like, value is subjective, right? But like, what I would spend on Legos is not what you would spend on Lego, or is not what someone else would spend on Lego. Whatever. Everyone spends money their own way.
Yeah.
And if I choose to want to spend my money this way, it's how I choose to spend it. And I worked my ass or figure out a way to spend it and still survive. And I think like people just like think like I'm just spending like it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have other obligations I need to pay for first. Like, this is just.
Well, it's just the internet. People are like super presumptuous about like, you know, what you show and what you put out there and stuff like that, you know?
Well, the other thing is it's fun, carefree, like look how much money we spent on Lego. But another thing that you all referenced in the last episode was talking about like, oh, I bought all this Lego, but I can't pay my mortgage. Or like, I put this on a credit card and I went into debt. And like Claire was saying, like, she wouldn't call someone out in that regard. Like, that's your money, that's your business, whatever. And I was just watching a recent episode of the Emmy-nominated show Ted Lasso, if you all are familiar. Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm not all the way through season 2, so please don't spoil the rest of it.
No. I know of it. I really, really am dying to get into it.
You absolutely need to. But my wife and I purposely waited until all of season 2 was out so that we can do some binging. So we're working through that now. Nice. But there is something in that episode regarding relationships where someone's like, no, absolutely don't say anything to someone else when they're in a relationship. Like, it will never benefit them. It will never do well. And it paralleled something that you all were saying in a recent episode where you're like, if you see someone spending a bunch of money on Lego and not on their mortgage, like, you're like, I'm not going to say anything. That's their business. Like, whatever. That's not my place to say. And I'm here to say, if I ever come to you guys and say, oh no, I bought Home Alone and the Batmobile and the Titanic and the AT-AT, and I can't pay my mortgage this month, I put all that on a credit card or whatever, I absolutely hope someone here will be like, Josh, that's a really stupid move. Like, you have a family and you have priorities, and that's a bad move, man.
I think that's different. I
think I would say that too.
Yeah, we would definitely say that if we knew that was happening.
Man, that was dumb, but hopefully you have fun with that.
We just don't
look forward to the videos.
We don't presume that you're going through hard times and pry into those like those things unless you choose to do so. Like, publicly.
It's not socially acceptable to comment on someone's finance, even if you're like watching them make a terrible financial decision. Like I had a friend of mine who paid off of all her student debt, all of it.
Well, good for her.
No, student debt is one of the like, she liquidated her savings to pay off her student debt.
Okay. And what was the interest rate?
There you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. Go ahead.
No, she cannot buy a house now because like she and student debt is one of the only debts that it doesn't make you a weaker partner or a weaker financial partner. It's like, it is socially acceptable debt. So like your credit history is like not as impacted versus like, or your credit score. So because she did that, because she had like, $110K in the bank, she went $100K towards the boom, that's it. And then her spending, it's just like, I wish I knew that her crappy financial advisor told her to do that. And I would have told her not to, it's just like, it's ridiculous. And now she's spending $6,000 a month on rent.
She needs to move or get some roommates.
Her and her partner in a 3-bedroom house. Yeah, with a kid.
Holy crap. That's a mortgage.
That's 6 mortgages, man.
That's what I was saying. Renting is not the business. Always go to own.
If you can.
It's a
privileged position.
If you're in California, it's hard.
The market.
If you're in California, for the metropolitan cities, it's hard.
If you're in Austin, it's hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, blame the Californians.
It's hard everywhere now. I mean, my God. And there's some parts of Central Florida that are just as expensive as San Francisco, as I'm learning.
Yes. That's a tourism area. That's a different game.
It's wild.
So all this being said, it's fun for us to act like we're being frivolous, but all of us here have partners and priorities and obligations. And if you think that I'm going to the Lego store spending hundreds of dollars without first chatting with my wife, you would be blind to how strong and independent and opinionated my wife is, because we're absolutely having conversations beforehand, and then I am mostly keeping to those budgets for the most part.
For the most part, right.
Yeah, Venus is the same way. The wife is the same way. I have to, like, anything large, I have to give her a forewarning.
So does she also like Home Alone?
Yes, I mean, she was pissed that I bought it, but I bought it. And she was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, different couples keep their finances separately, and it works differently for different couples, for sure. And I think but communication is really important, and it's whatever, virtual or emotional contract that you signed with your partner should tie to your finances as well. You know what I mean? You guys agreed upon something, whatever that may be. And it's not worth it. Like, Lego's not worth it. Like, if you are using this as your coping mechanism, which a lot of us are, be careful.
Okay, just call us out there, Claire.
No, I mean, we all love it. It's great. It's a great hobby. It's a creative outlet. It is fascinating. It is continuously fulfilling in terms of the social outlets with like the internet, as well as like constant influx of new products from the company itself. You know what I mean? It's just like, if their theme parks could, step it up 11 notches, we'd even have that. But like, it's just be careful. Just really be careful. It's just like, we live in a country where mass consumerism is encouraged, and the entire social media system, all of social media and all of the marketing is set up to make you want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, be wary that you are just you're just a lemming. You know what I mean? You are being told to buy this stuff. Like, have control of your own life.
Preach.
Anyway.
So may I?
What is this soapbox that I'm on? It's insufferable.
Yeah, what are you doing, Claire? What
I
happened?
don't know. I'm like deveining shrimp.
I was gonna say I absolutely love the juxtaposition between Claire like taking out the figurative trash on the internet while also taking out the poopy vein on the back of a raw shrimp there.
The literal
If y'all aren't
trash
watching
also.
the video podcasts of these episodes, which I think are also available on Spotify now, if I'm
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Thank you, Josh.
So
Josh
you are
is
missing out if you're not watching the video here.
our most professional member.
Oh boy, I hope not.
I got a multi-tap, and it's I got Sans. He eats for 5. So
He's a growing boy.
apparently, no, he's actually gotten wider.
Okay, don't call him out like that on here.
No,
We're all getting
like
wider.
broader.
We're going to the holiday season.
I know.
Yeah,
I've been getting wider since I stopped walking.
it's the situation.
No, broader. Sorry, I made it to here. Oh no, here he comes.
Is
Uh-oh.
broader a good thing? Because that
Yeah,
boy's got some broad shoulders, and it's a
Yeah.
little intimidating as a narrow-shouldered individual like myself.
But you got the height, Josh. You got the height.
The height and the metabolism have sustained me for most of my life.
No, the reach doesn't work.
Actually, since you've
The reach helps.
been on here, Josh, what's it called? What's it called? I thought you were going to stop drinking those Monster Energy drinks, my friend.
I was, and I have almost entirely, except when Shy says, "Hey, when are you available?" And I say, "Oh, after 8 p.m. my time to make sure my kids are asleep and there's not going to be noise in the background." And then someone is keeping to a very strict yet impressive streaming and video schedule. And so
Oh, yeah.
our recordings get pushed back to 10 p.m. Central
my fault.
Time.
That's my
And
fault.
I've been awake since 5:30 a.m. because I got children and I got puppies
I'm
and
sorry.
everything in my house wakes up
You got
early.
puppies. You got
And
puppies.
so to make sure that I can be present, literally and figuratively, because I like to think that I'm a gift to this podcast in some way.
You are. Okay, it's my fault. I'll take it. Okay.
To be present here, I've got to chug a monster so that we can all enjoy ourselves here.
I don't know if I speak for everyone, but I do appreciate your sacrifice, Josh.
Thank you, Ninja. It's about time.
You're welcome.
About time.
Well, technically, we could have recorded this tomorrow, but I said let's do it today.
So this is Shy's fault. Would anyone else like to admit fault? Am I the only one here who's not at fault? May I even claim to be a victim? Because I kind of feel like it.
Ninja's not at fault.
Ninja's never really on fault. We just
I'm
tell
very
him when
lenient.
to show up, and he shows.
That boy's faultless.
I'm very lenient. I'm like, when? I'm there. Oh, we're
Hey,
pushing it back? I'm still there.
We did push it back by bantering for stinking half hour because
Right.
someone's hungry.
She's still not even done cooking yet. It's early.
She hasn't even started the shrimp on the Barbie.
It's all good. Best pre-episode, I would say.
Yeah, for the most that deserves its own reel of some kind for
I
sure.
enjoyed
To start
myself.
our highlights.
Yeah, no, for real. I think I have enough footage to like just create bloopers.
Just make like 20 YouTube shorts. Those
Right?
do
I
well,
mean-
right?
Our professionalism is already thrown under the bus. Josh put it out there. For
I'm
those
not
taking
trying to
notes.
call people out, man.
I don't know who else is taking notes. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think you're the only one that has taken notes, and you've like criticized the podcast pretty heavily.
No, I'm literally skimming my notes right now to see if I've
Awesome, I love
missed
it.
anything from the last
Bro, I'm
episode.
gonna throw a wrench. I'm gonna throw a wrench in your notes.
Oh,
So the AT-AT, who's getting it?
I'm gonna throw a wrench in your notes and take a bathroom break while you guys start the discussion on the AT-AT.
This is like bathroom break number 4. For those of you who are obviously not
Oh
privy
my
to what we're talking about with the bathroom breaks, I'm putting his business out there now. I know he can hear me because his pods are still in his ear.
No, he switched to wired.
But did he really? All right, well,
Yeah,
I'm going to say it anyways. You can listen to it again while he's taking notes after the show.
Right.
He's already peed 3 times. This is 4.
I blame the monsters.
I do blame the monsters too, but it is like, again, what he said. It's all our faults except for him. Well, not you. It's Claire my fault. That's my fault.
I want
No,
some of the
it's my
blame. I
fault.
feel like I need to take some of this though.
No, that's all me. Dude. It's all me, dude. I'm the one that told it to be today.
I was late before on a couple episodes, so that counts. I take the blame.
guess. I guess. All right. Well, let's just you and I talk about the AT&T because
Are you interested in it? It's gonna be like
I'm the
like
wrong
you could
one.
have it as like a side table, you know?
It's
when it got leaked, right? I've been really hyped for this thing like all year, and when it got leaked, I was kind of disappointed.
What's up
And
with
this
all
is
the
why.
figs? All those figs, like they're all the
figs are-
same.
Yeah, I mean, it needs it. It's a troop carrier. It needs troops. But like, I was like, maybe this is going to be the set that we anticipated all year and would actually not be leaked and released on release day, and will be like, everybody will enjoy it all once. I was a little, naive with that.
I mean, it only leaked a couple weeks in advance, right? Like Lego's going to announce it this week or next week for Black Friday, right?
They should at least just announce it now. Once it's leaked, they should just announce it.
It's already out there.
They should announce it. But the thing is, when I saw it, though, what I thought, which is dumb, which it just looks like another AT-AT. It doesn't look any different.
But we can't see the scale from pictures. Like no one's showing it yet next to like $150 AT-AT.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Like if you just try to count studs and like scale a minifigure on the interior, it's got to be clear
massive.
that it's big.
It's going to be massive.
Fellow Lego Star Wars fans, it is with the utmost
of
the Lego Star Wars UCS after I uploaded my last video about the UCS AT-AT. Once again, share with you original video about these interior AT and the proper interior.
It's a bunch of snowtroopers, right? I like snowtroopers.
That's like 5 snowtroopers. Regardless of the fact, it looks like another AT-AT.
Cannot tell the difference between have General Veer off to the right there. We also can slightly see what the front of the box is going to look like.
I've said this with several sets this year.
Who's that annoying voice?
Oh, that's right. Claire stopped watching Ryan.
Wow, Claire, how are you going to talk about Josh like that?
Wait, my sound's not coming through the stream, is it?
It is, though.
We're all listening to it right now.
Wait, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Well, we're gonna get a copyright strike there. Here, I'll mute that audio. I'll mute that audio. I didn't even have the audio playing through my ears.
No.
I didn't mean to start give Ryan a legit shout out.
It's cool. It's Ryan.
I've said this several times about several of the big sets this year, where people are like, "What's the big deal? Like, where's the appeal in this set?" And I'm saying, like, the appeal is in the size. Like, the gunship was not extraordinary just for what it was. It was extraordinary because it was really, really big and impressive. Like, you could say the same about the Falcon, but like the big UCS Falcon was like, we haven't had an $800 Lego set before, right? And it was the largest at the time and whatnot. And so there was a lot of like grandiosity just around the release in general. At this point, this is like the fourth or fifth like Lego set that's more than $500, right? Like the Titanic is out there, and then like we had the Falcon and I'm missing something else.
Star
like
Destroyer.
The Star Destroyer, right? That was $700, and this one is going to be what, $600, $700, $800 also.
8, yeah.
So like it's missing some of the appeal of like the newness, right? Like we've seen giant Lego Star Wars sets before. That's not to say it's not still impressive and exciting, but like the appeal of this set to me is in the scale. So I want to see it built and like sitting on a table next to a normal size, average size human being known as Ryan. And he can be like, look how big this thing is. And it's like, cool, that's like half the size of you. Like that's where it's impressive. Otherwise, it's like, if people are expecting anything else about this set other than just like, it's cool because it's big, people are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
See, and this is the reason. So when this set was leaked, it made me want the Titanic more. Just because it wasn't a giant Star Wars set that we've already seen before. Like, we've never seen the Titanic aside from coming from Kobe or anything like that. It's something totally different. It's not gray. It's cheaper.
True.
You know what I mean? It made me more comfortable. Like, you know what? Yeah, Titanic. That's where eventually it's going first. Just because I could, like, I have the Falcon. It's cool. It's gray. But if I want to put the AT-AT next to it, I mean, it's cool. It's gray.
I think that's why I didn't get the Star Destroyer, because I was like, I've already got a big gray ship and no place to put any other big gray ship.
Yeah.
And I have the Star Destroyer as well, and it's still sitting in its box.
Mhm.
So like, I'm like, you know what? Titanic is the way I'm going. For sure
I
now.
definitely want the Titanic. Titanic to me is like, that's the first set I'm building in my like house when I have a house.
Oh man, we're all about to get labeled fake Star Wars fans, and I literally have a life-size
I've never
stormtrooper standing behind me.
I have never
I only have one
pretended.
Star Wars ship like out.
No, you got those heads there. The funny thing is, I literally had that exact same example like in my head queued up. I was like, if you had showed me the new AT-AT, granted we hadn't seen it at the time, or the Titanic, and you were like, you can only pick one, it would be a difficult decision for me. Like my young childhood Star Wars nerd on the inside would still win out and pick the AT-AT in the end, but like it would be a hard decision between the two.
Yes, no, definitely. I was hyped for this AT-AT like literally all year, or whenever it was announced that this is a possibility of happening. And as many times as Ryan has solidified that it was happening, as many times I've asked him for it that is actually happening, I was like holding back, saving VIP points for this set. And then when it got leaked, I was like, nope, which was a big surprise for me because this is the UCS set that I really wanted. I didn't even get the gunship because I wanted to see the AT-AT.
Oh.
I'm kind of making the same justification for myself because I also didn't get the gunship, and I love ships. I didn't get the Cantina, but like I've always loved A New Hope and like Mos Eisley in that environment, and the aliens and the minifigs and stuff. Like there's so much about that set that looks so great, but I didn't get that. I didn't get the gunship, and that almost makes me go, well, yeah, I deserve this one because I didn't get the other two big Star Wars sets. But I'm still on the fence and undecided. Like it's no surprise, but like I'm the Lego friend in my group of friends, and you all are probably also like the Lego guy among your groups.
Yep.
And so like I've got non-Lego people who appreciate Lego but don't buy it themselves. They're like, hey, this AT-AT, like, are you going to get that? And I'm like, I honestly don't know at this point.
You said you have you have non-Lego friends telling you about a leaked Lego set?
Yeah, like literally someone asked me today, like that AT-AT, are you going to get it? And I was like, those pictures leak like today. Like, what are you doing keeping up on this news?
Sounds like a closet Lego fan.
Exactly. Well, which was I was leading towards.
There are a lot of people who like and appreciate Lego who do not spend any money on Lego.
Hey.
Yeah, my friends are like that. My friend went from like no Lego. She like, I got her the X-Wing, and I'm pretty sure she hasn't built it. Oh my God, there's a moth like this big. And
that
was live.
And anyway, today,
that should be.
She got the Elf Clubhouse, Santa's Visit, Hogsmeade, and she's getting Home Alone.
All right, she just fell off the deep end.
She wants.
Well, I mean, how many friends have you converted to the Lego hobby? 4.
She's keeping track.
I don't even have 4 friends, and I count you 3.
Oh,
wow!
I feel honored.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
We're gonna get some live insect extraction here on the podcast.
First time for everything.
So let's come to the conclusion that none of us are buying the AT-AT on release.
No. Well, when does it release? Black Friday, theoretically.
Black Friday, and you haven't bought anything in November.
Oh, see, I was gonna ask because you said you didn't get the Mos Eisley or the gunship.
Mm-mm.
Would you get one of those before you got the AT-AT?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
What are the prices on those? Gunship was $350.
$350.
I think
Mos Eisley is like $3.
I think $350 for both. I want to say. I don't know. Let's see.
It's a funny thing, and we all shouldn't be talking about personal finances on here. But I'm making a lot of end of year decisions based on like theoretical bonuses at work. Like I am likely to get a Christmas bonus this year. There is a chance that I will find out like in like my bonus is linked to like the income on the app that I work on. And so like there is a chance I will know those general numbers before the end of November. And so I will have a good idea what that bonus will look like, which will drive a lot of the decision making that I have for the end of the year. Like I'm getting a new camera. Everything behind me is going away. I'm renovating my office. I'm going to buy a bunch of lumber. I'm going to build a bunch of custom cabinetry. All right, if you're not watching the video,
you're missing
it's Claire being excited about things and then immediately frightened or worried about the moth that is in her vicinity.
It's the whole thing. Sans is here. We're like trying to like guide it back outside.
Moths don't bite. Unless you guys got biting moths in California.
Yeah, we're just trying. We just don't want it to make a mess.
Yeah, it's a nice kitchen. You don't want to do that. Don't you have a cat?
Claire won't clean it up.
Don't you have a cat?
I didn't say that.
Use the cat.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't mess with moths either.
You have a bug salt gun? Oh, those are the best. They're like pump shotguns.
I've got an electric
the salt
bug
thing.
zapper.
I've seen those. Yeah.
No, that's just a way to get salt all over your house.
Yeah.
Which may fit if you're making a poke bowl. Claire, does that bowl need some salt? If so, do you have a gun?
Put some sesame seeds. I did it's like shrimp and like fresh like rice noodles, like little chopped ones, and then bok choy.
See, that's the poke nerd in me. I was like, Pokeball?
No, I wish.
What?
I love a poke bowl, man. I'm obsessed with a poke bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Poke bowl. Right.
Poke bowl.
Pokeball?
It's a bowl of poke. It's like sushi, but like if you got sushi from Chipotle, where you just get like a bowl and it's like, give me that. Give me them tempura crisps on top. What were we talking about?
I thought we were talking about Pokemon. I'm in the wrong room. No, I'm just kidding.
I got Pokemon cards to open. Y'all want to open some Pokemon cards?
Oh, have we been already at that part of the stream?
Have you guys done? Has there ever been a Pokemon card pack cracking on stream?
Not here.
Sans did one on Twitch randomly, like at 11 o'clock at night, and he just got off.
Yeah, that dude.
Every stream just for Josh.
I want to do them on streams, but then I'm like, I don't feel like streaming, and so I have a bunch of Pokemon cards and no place in which to stream them.
Wow.
Shoot, Sans just beat us to it
right now.
Oh, we got the chunky boys.
It. Oh, because
wait, what are we opening? Is that Celebrations?
Yeah, but Sans, you said no one watches this thing, so
yeah, that's true. But I just wanted to beat Josh.
No, he did beat me. I didn't get any of my cards.
I had a pack of Pokemon cards on your last episode. I didn't open them though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You showed him.
My background's always changing. You guys got to pay attention.
I thought you were supposed to open them and do the thing. And
oh yeah, 4 to the front. 4 to the front.
Okay, so now we're opening.
No, that's done.
It's over.
It's over. No, well, Josh is coming right now, and now he has an arsenal worth of cards right in front of him. Headphones wearing. He's
grabbing his unplug. I don't like to flex.
No,
because
you just grab like
other people
20 packs right now.
Uncomfortable. Ninja and I have talked about this on the stream before, and it's relevant because it is a collecting compulsion, much like Lego. Mm-hmm. And it's like if you see a pack of Pokemon cards in stores these days, like you got to pick up a couple of them. Mm-hmm. They're hard to find. Like you don't see them in stores.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll be honest. I seen a pack the other day, and I wasn't prepared. Okay, there was two. There was two boxes.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, there was 2 boxes. Yeah, you know they have like the boxes that come with the big card and like a couple packs.
Yeah.
So they had 2 of those, 2 separate ones. I bought one and I hid the other. I ain't gonna lie, I hid it. And I came back. It was still there.
I used to do that when I was a little kid, man.
No, I'm not playing around. I was like, if I don't hide this right now, it's gonna be gone.
I thought that was something only Sam's did. That's really
nah. See, I had to be honest. I did it, and it worked. For Lego. I got both those boxes.
When I'm looking for new Lego sets at like Targets and stuff, I look behind like the random toy aisles because I know these dang little kids want to come back for these sets when their parents are more agreeable.
See,
and they're trying to hide this new stuff.
I'm not going to
find it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not going to disclose where I hid it because that's my.
Yeah, where did you hide it?
He's in the Paw Patrol aisle. It's easy to guess.
No,
I'll tell you after.
Find it and put it away.
Hot Wheels.
Oh no! I'll tell you when we're not live.
Okay, when we're not live.
No one's finding my spot. I'm getting all my cards. Sheesh.
Wow.
The funny thing is, okay, I'm flexing again for the video people. I've got a couple of booster packs here.
Oh my god!
That need opening.
Just a few.
And then a couple of booster packs here.
Oh my god!
That need opening.
Yeah, I
got some big boxes. I didn't open I opened my cabinets a second ago. I got binders, y'all. I haven't sold a Pokemon card since I was a boy. Man. Boy, man. These celebrations packs, these are like, there's only 5 like cards in here, and they're like all hollows. Hondo Naka here.
He's about to show up, Sans, because Sans didn't even show us what he got.
No, right? That was
I just want to check these tease. Honestly, y'all are just giving me excuses to check like what's in these packs. But these are like, you only get like 5 cards in the pack, and they're all like nice. What do we got though? Cosmodon something, evolution of something.
Nice back there. I see
a little hollow Lugia there. Oh, I see.
These are all Pokemon past Mew.
A trainer. That's a disappointment there. Ooh, that's not a disappointment. Zycan V right there. I don't know if that's full art or whatever they call it. And then look at that. You guys can scan that QR code if you want.
Wait, let me get my phone. No, I'm just
free stuff out digitally. That's the only one I'm going to crack here. That's the only flex I'm going to have for the evening.
Wow, you are coming up. Shared that moment with us. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Honestly, I've got all these packs, and I want reason to open them, and I don't have reason. So, y'all gave me an excuse.
I feel honored.
I feel extremely lucky to be in this moment with you.
Poke nerd life.
I'm glad that you all could come along on that journey with me, and that also I would call you all "quote unquote" friends.
Oh,
is that our closer?
No, we haven't even been going for an hour yet.
Remember, we had a 40-minute intro.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we have a I'm like, yeah, we've been on for an hour and 50. Oh, got it.
We got to beat Ryan's time, man. He's had 2 episodes, which are like a net like 3 hours worth of content, just because he gets to come on here and complain about Lan making him sad and stuff and doing him wrong. Just because I don't have that kind of like influence to bring here.
Cold-blooded.
I guarantee, though, your episode is going to have a consistent watch time.
That's for Josh.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's what's the next dumb thing this dude's going to say?
Where is this episode going?
We're just sharing too much at this point. Look, see, now Claire left. Claire just left.
She didn't leave. She just needs to eat some shrimp.
Well, she's muted and she turned off the camera, so obviously she left.
She gone.
The moth got her, guys.
I'm just back.
Whoa, that was an awesome scene change.
That just quick. Tripped me out. I'm so used to Claire moving like the computer laptop with her. So we go on a journey from one room to the other. So we kind of figure out, okay, at this point, she's going to be in this part of the hallway into the room. So you kind of get a visual layout of the condo. Yeah. But I've never seen her do this where she just shuts it off and we're somewhere different.
That was smooth.
That was quick, also.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
A little flabbergasted over here. I don't know what to say.
I have nothing to say.
This is me neither. Let's have a moment of silence. That wouldn't be weird for an audio podcast.
I actually cut these out.
So you do edit. So there is some editing.
I do edit them. Yeah, okay. There are times I have to. When the pause is too long, I'll cut it.
Or when the guest gets up and goes to the bathroom in the middle of the episode.
Oh no, I'm leaving that. This is going to be one of those uncut episodes.
The fun thing is, since I'm on hardwired headphones, I've had to pull them off a couple of times here to like go grab Pokemon cards out of the cabinet, which I'm sure plenty of other guests do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So I get to listen back to this and hear some new stuff that I didn't hear the first time.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hear some things.
Have you ever replayed an episode straight again?
I've replayed my first episode of this, and I listened to it, and then I was like, oh man, we started so many topics. And like Claire would ask like a really like well-phrased question, which has like a lot of different possibilities and like directions. And I'm like, whatever question she just asked, like we could talk about that for 20 minutes. But the first thing someone says, we go off topic. And then like Claire's question is out the window. And I was like, we never got back to that question. And I listened back to that. And I'm sure the same thing's going to happen again in this episode where we're going to be talking about something. And then I'm going to be like, oh, never mind. We never got back to that. I wish we had.
I'm kind of curious. What was it?
What was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen to our first episode. If you all out there are listening to this episode and are like, who's this Josh dude? And why is he on here a second time? Well, for one, no one else was available, clearly. And for two, listen to the first episode and you'll hear the questions that never got answered the first time. And you could leave a comment down below and maybe we'll answer it down there.
They don't get answered this time either. Just a spoiler alert.
No. Probably not, but I am going to go back and listen to this again in hindsight.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're setting up for part 3.
Uh-oh. Have you guys ever had a guest on a third time?
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
Not yet, Josh.
Let's see how few friends the Cali Brick Clique really does have.
Oh my God.
Will Jang make it back before Josh?
We have all the way up until December filled.
Oh, for bookings?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
See, we're professional.
That's like the most professional part, I guess.
Yeah. Shout out to Claire for that. She's the one.
No, I was shy this time.
Was it? I thought it.
It's been rotating.
Just tell me if Ryan has a third episode scheduled yet.
That's the bar.
Ryan is the bar?
No.
Well, it's a free for all to see who gets it first.
No, two's the max for everyone so far.
I heard it was hard to pass the bar, but if Ryan is the bar, I don't think it's as hard as we all said it was.
We're just hitting Ryan today, aren't we?
I don't want to poo-poo on Ryan. I love that boy. I'm only poo-pooing on because he's big.
I told him to his face I stopped watching his content so that I wouldn't hate him.
I watched his content on this very video.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it was played.
Yeah, you did. Oh, yeah.
My audio was playing.
No, what I'd like to talk about though is Josh's recent content. I feel like you've been putting. I don't know if you've been putting more effort, but I think it's getting better.
I don't know. I can't stop watching every single damn video.
Those dad jokes, man.
It gets
my analytics show a couple of small things, and also by the time this episode's out, I don't know. I might be close to 3,000 subscribers.
Congratulations!
So sub if you haven't already. But I had a couple of videos which I tried something slightly different, and that's something. It kind of. It feels wrong because it's like the titles and thumbnails have to be a little like teasy and almost clickbaity, and like I hate it. I really do.
Get over it.
Because I don't. This sounds even worse. I don't care if other people watch this stuff. Like I am honestly making stuff because it's enjoyable for me and it gives me reason to buy more stuff. And it's fun to talk about Lego stuff. Like I'd sit here on chats talking about Lego stuff with you all, whether or not we were recording it for a podcast. Like it's fun to talk about this thing that we all like, but like making content about it kind of justifies the whole thing. But there have been a couple of videos where I was like, this can almost count as evergreen content, being like Lego stunt sets are broken, or like I don't like these new Hogwarts sets, the modularity of them, like they're not worth it. Like you throw a little bit of that in your thumbnail and title, and like it does better, regardless of if my content is that much different than like any of the other review stuff that I've done for years before this.
Yep. So and that's a moment where let's see that part right here, that little pause will be cut out of the episode.
Will the comment about cutting out the pause also be cut out, or does that part get left in? Because then they're like, "What pause? I didn't hear anything."
I guess I'm not cutting a damn thing out of this, then, am I?
Well, now it's not gone.
Now
just
it's
for the record, we've never cut anything.
Oh, she doesn't know.
What? Oh no, I cut something actually.
Uh-oh.
There you go. That's when you individually do them.
Oh, yeah,
honestly,
I remember those days.
When Sans was a secret.
Sans, man, the days when Sans was a secret.
Remember those episodes?
I remember those episodes.
I'm hesitating right now because I just want to talk about personal lives in depth, but we can save that for after the podcast because it's not my personal life that I'm so curious and intrigued by. It's fun. It's so fun. Like we all met each other through Lego and this hobby and stuff. But then I'm just so curious about like everyone's like real lives and like what people do. And like Shy puts out vlogs and stuff. And like I've met Ninja and you all in person. And so like I feel like I have a little more of a glimpse into y'all's lives than most people have the privilege of having. But like even before that, I'm just like so dang curious about like what is everyday life and like what is just like what's it like to be Claire and Sans and just have piles of Lego that are too high to know what to do with, and like that's your everyday of just eating sushi and good seafood and sorting Lego
and making brick.
It's intriguing.
I wish that was. I know. I think our lives were that for like a few months. We definitely lived that life, and I wish we could. Well, and then
real life settled in.
And it's like
I do remember grinding Claire, like work grinding Claire for a split second before you went on your sabbatical.
Why?
Like, because in the very beginning, when we first started like kind of conversing and getting into what we're doing now, like you were still working
a lot.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It was a different you, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can work crazy hours and crazy amounts, and I changed like fundamentally. So it's very important now that I'm working for myself to like be able to balance that. But it's been really good, and I'm growing the business really slowly, really slowly. But it's still taking up my time. And then, I just last week I released a schedule. I like set myself to a schedule for like a Monday through Friday, actually Sunday through
7 days.
7 day week.
7 days.
It's a 7 day week. And it's really interesting. A lot of people are like, wow, how are you going to do that? And it's actually funny because like for months, I actually did way more than that. I was uploading daily videos and streaming and recording Cali Brick Clique for a few months. And it was great. It was good for the channel and everything like that. But like it was all over the place. And like now, I'm doing the thing where I wake up every morning. I grab my journal, I have my bullet journal, and I like plan out my day. I plan out my goals. I plan out my 3 objectives, and I'm going for it. And it's just like, that's it. And the reason I probably got on my high horse is like, I think I'm listening to that kind of content and I'm just like projecting it back out because it is helping me and it is projecting me forward. And I'm situating myself in a financial situation that is going to change the ceiling that I had before. So when you pick a profession, whatever it is, there's different financial like ceilings that you have for yourself. Like you can only make so much money doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah, Josh.
Was that ceiling made of glass?
Yes, it was. No.
Did you shatter it?
No. It's not a glass ceiling. It's quite literally like, going and doing a specific like business model or specific like industry or whatever it is. There's only so far that you can go, and then thinking outside of the box is, once you master that craft is the hard part, and like taking a very dramatic risk, which I don't have children. It's very different. I can absolutely do that right now. So this is the time. And so I'm hoping that that's the outcome. And so, I'm trying to develop quite literally a development company and not an architecture company. So that's what my transition is. And ideally, over the long term, is that we develop a methodized system where we can essentially have intellectual property that can be sold to a large scale investment or like, developer, like the $1 billion developers. So my point is like, just think outside the box. Don't just be like, I want a 9-to-5. I want X, Y, and Z. Like we are creatives. That's like who we are fundamentally here in the Lego community. Like use that skill and use that knowledge to your benefit. So
I know I'm the guest here, but Claire's the one like dropping truth bombs here, and like I've been joking about her flexing on us this whole time, but like no, you're making moves. I am proud of all the stuff you're doing. I'm impressed by it, and I am proud.
Thanks. I'm trying to, because the thing is like a lot of people think that like architects make a lot of money, and we actually don't. Like my first job out of graduate school, I was making $27,000 a year. That's not even minimum wage in a lot of the countries here. Yeah. And when you like study for, I think I was in school for 7.5 years. So it which is like totally ridiculous. And then when you start, and like granted, this was like after the recession, when you start at that point, it is proven that when you start during a recession, you will consistently have a lower income. So like when there was a point, I think it was in like 2017, 2018, I was making the same amount as someone who had just graduated school with the same degree that I had 6 years prior or 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, so to do that, you have to think outside the box. And like the first step that I did was, I learned software before I learned software that the average person didn't know how to do. So that propelled me. And then the next thing I did was I went to a firm that wasn't as like cool design wise, but we got buildings built and like quickly. And it had a functional like business model. It wasn't as like flashy and funky, but like, man, I went from like, my first project in San Francisco, I just showed Sans and his parents, is a lift. It's like a wheelchair lift in front of Mozilla. It is absolutely ridiculous. That is like where I started. And then you can literally be standing there and you can see the island that I did, like an island. And so I'm not like trying to be like, hey, look at me. And yes, I came from a very like privileged home in terms of like 2 loving parents that like, their entire life's work was like put into, setting me up for success. But like a lot of us did have that, in the sense like there are a lot of people who had a good upbringing and like didn't do anything with it, and it's just like, anyway, my whole point is just like, just think outside the box. Don't just like follow a path, and it's really important that you can. And we're all atypical. You know what I mean? Like what adults like Lego, it's fucking weird. And like, just like use it to your advantage.
It's true. It's funny. There's so many commonalities between like, we're obviously all brought together by Lego, right? But there's so many like parallels and commonalities between people that you meet in this same hobby. And it's like, oh, we're all kind of cut from the same cloth, right? Like there's something that drives us all towards this thing. A lot of us are analytical and a lot of us are like problem solvers and a lot of us love this spatial like design and this physical 3D modeling element that just like it's not digital and it's not on a screen and it's not 2D. Like it's something that we can physically hold in our hands. And like I've always loved that method of creativity. And like besides like just getting your hands on a block of clay, like Lego is the next best outlet. Like there's a reason this thing is done so well over this many years. And I've said this before, like I'm a web developer, and like every web developer that you talk to, and you say, what toy or thing did you love as a kid? And it's like, the answer is always Lego. And like even people who are not into Lego now, like every web developer I know, it's still like, again, I'm the Lego guy among my friends and colleagues. And so they're like, oh, we saw this Lego set. And I was like, oh yeah, I have that there. And like to Claire's point, a lot of people think that web developers make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we do. Almost all of us make very good money. And that's how I can afford a bunch of Lego sets, because I have a whole bunch of money from my career as a web developer. But I also, before I was a web developer and before I had kids, again, a lot of people think I'm very young. Greg, at least from London Bridge Brick, he was like, I thought you were like 23. And I was like, no, my friend, you're off by about 10 years. And I've had some time to develop my skills. But I went to a coding school before I had children. And my in-laws funded that coding school. It was like 10 grand at the time. It was a boot camp, like a 3-month intensive thing. Mm-hmm. And I was not making good money before this. When my wife and I originally met and got married, we did not have a lot of money, which is a good way to get married, because then you kind of like, you have to learn to live with your finances as you grow. But after doing that code school and being in the industry now for like, I don't know, 7 years or so, like now I make decent money in this field. Because like you all here, like I've also worked really hard in this field, and it's not a typical thing, but like if you're unsure what you want to do, go be a web developer, because if you like Lego, you'll probably like web development.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to change your career at any time and point in place, now is the time to do it. Labor shortage is serious right now.
Yeah.
And you could, if you're going to go, if you want to start your own thing, or if you want to go into a company and they offer you crap pay, it's in your advantage and the ball's in your court, or their court, for them to pay you what you want. Yeah. Because it's hard to hire people right now. So
it's crazy how hard it is. It's just like such a
stupid. Like,
I think they raised the minimum wage in like a lot of places because of that. And then also like, even I heard that like even in places where minimum wage is like $13-14, they're paying like upwards of 20 for, McDonald's jobs an hour, because they just can't get people to work because welfare and
it's paying almost the same.
in a lot of ways, it's a dang revolution. And I'm trying to see the bright side of this whole situation, where you pull up to any drive-through of a fast food place, which I love fast food. I'm trying not to, but I love fast food also. And like, you pull up to the drive-through window, and we've got it around here where it's like, there's a sign on the thing that says only 2 employees working, please be patient. And like, that's somehow a constant in this pandemic also. But if you think about it, it's that, like, why don't people want to work? And like, all these like middle managers want you to think, oh, everyone's lazy and they're living off unemployment and stuff. But like, there's this other side of things where people are like, well, no, we don't have to work for minimum wage. Like this time of unemployment, or this time of like government assistance or whatever it is, it's given a lot of people a chance to be like, well, I don't have to settle for that. I'm going to take some time to figure out what else I would rather do and what I'm qualified to do. And I'm going to hold out for that better position, better pay. And that's where people are going to. And so less people feel like they have to go take $12 an hour at a drive-through. And so I can't get my double cheeseburger as fast, but like someone else is doing better for themselves in the long run. And so hopefully in the end, we all come out of this thing better, right?
Positive way to think about
Is that happening though? Like, that's what I know a few people that's been happening. I hope that's the case.
I don't know. So. I saw it on a Reddit post. It sounded right.
I can see it.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Or do you think it's like people transitioning into like different kinds of work, like because different kinds of jobs have been opened up, you know what I mean? Or people are like trying out Twitch, or they're trying out, social media stuff, or they're trying out delivery services where they are, they work for themselves in their own car or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's like different, I don't know. I think it's really important. I think a lot of people are thinking about working for themselves in a very different way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's definitely a good thing. There's definitely like systems in place, but they need a shake up every once in a while. And you can say that this is definitely the time where it's happening.
Oh no, it's definitely happening, because now like the employee has a lot of power.
And they did even before COVID. Like to be honest, like it was still like we were still in a financial upswing. We weren't in a crisis in any way, like you still had like, things were being built. We were hiring, like tech companies were booming, the food industry was like prolific. And so, but I'm curious if that's really the case, because like, 40% of restaurants in San Francisco are closed permanently. Like that can't be a good thing for the economy. That can't be a good thing for the.
But is it fewer people want to work as a server and they're doing something else and they're in an office job, or like we don't know?
I don't think so. I think a lot of it was just
shutdown stuff.
Yeah, it was just because of shutdowns. They couldn't keep up. Like, takeout orders like couldn't satisfy it. Like, staff like couldn't. People couldn't pay their staff, and then what's happening is like, and this, I've talked about this before, and since the Industrial Revolution, basically what ends up happening is generation to generation, there's shifts towards cities or away from cities. Opportunity comes and goes from cities. And right now we're seeing a shift away from the cities. Cities got hit really hard by COVID, and they're turning into virtually unlivable situations in terms of the cost of living to be there relative to the cost benefit just isn't there. And so you're seeing people shift away into suburbs, into smaller towns where there's more space, as remote work becomes more available, as internet capacity increases, as job descriptions change, as independence is reached. And so that's happening. So you could kind of follow trends of people coming in. And then, in 20 years, it might go back. But who knows? But we have to give it that 20 years for these cities, particularly in the US, need to repair themselves.
Yeah. Weren't you saying, Claire, you have a lot of friends in San Fran that are like, they left?
Oh, yeah. I know over like 60 people that left.
Yeah. We had friends in San Francisco that they're in North Carolina now. Like I had like at least one developer that works with me, and we work from home. We can work from anywhere. Yeah. There is no office that we can go to. But he was in Austin, and like he literally bought 80 acres in like rural Virginia for the same price that we paid for our like 4-2 house here. And the dude's got 80 acres. Like he's sitting on land. He's sitting in the valley of a mountain.
Does he have running water?
Yeah, he got fiber internet. He was waiting for Starlink to go to his house, and they're like, "Oh, we're not getting Starlink till 2022." And then he like contacted this rural government like internet provider, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, you can have fiber." And it's like technically now he has like business priority internet because there's so few people around him that like if there's a shortage, he's getting internet back like before anyone else around him.
Nice.
Just because he's one of the only people in the whole, I don't know, county that needs fiber internet speeds to do his job.
Huh.
It's a weird world. It's a weird, I'm trying to like feel privileged that we're living through a time that's not turbulent, but it's just like things are being shaken up, right? And it's interesting. Things are interesting around us.
It's the second time this happens in our lifetime. Like this happened in 2008. We were much younger.
I was 2 years into college. I couldn't care less what was happening with the economy.
Cool. I got laid off. It sucked. There was no job.
I was delivering pizza. Yeah. And I was doing pretty well for myself as someone who had no expenses.
But we graduated during a time of, we graduated at a really bad time though. You know what I mean? It was just like, anyway.
We did.
Fair. I think our generation, as in us four, have been through a lot already in the 30 years that we've been alive.
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe you went to a war. I didn't do shit. Like, sorry, but like, come on. Like,
that's true. I didn't go to any wars.
You still saw the Twin Towers get hit.
Just because the things you went through were positive doesn't mean you can't count them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see them as positive, but I'm also coming at almost every situation in my entire life as a very privileged, like middle class white male. I've never had to deal with any adversity in my entire life. Like my brother joined up in the Marines and like went to war, but he did all of that voluntarily. Like no one forced him to do that. No one forced you to do that, Shy. And like that's as much as I love to joke about stuff, like that's courageous and commendable. And I would never be able to do something like that unless like someone literally forced me to do that. But like I've lived a privileged life. And so I get to look at this whole perspective and this whole crazy time that we're living through as someone who worked from home full time and has done so for 5 years before. And so this pandemic hit and I was like, cool, the government's giving me a couple extra grand a month and nothing in my life situation has changed. If anything, I've come out of this pandemic in a better financial position, which shouldn't be the case, but I'm lucky and always have been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm if I was still working full time, I would have come out, but I think if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't have stopped and switched completely.
And so, 2 of the 4 people on this podcast switched jobs during the pandemic. Like that's even saying something as this very small sample size of individuals.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up right now.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3.
Unless Ninja, Ninja changed stuff too.
Yeah. Ninja say a lot about what he does. So yes, all of us have definitely changed financially. Financially and career-wise, since the pandemic hit. That's for sure. A lot has changed in the past 2 years, where a lot of people in the world are like figuring out what is the priority, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I think it is a good thing. I wonder how our systems are going to recover and I'm concerned about our supply chain for the short term, not the long term. A lot of those jobs that pay poorly affect the supply chain as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Ditch diggers are important too.
Well, maybe honestly, this is the wake up call to a really fragile infrastructure.
Well, if someone's out there, if someone needs like some extra cash, or if you're like a young person looking for a first job, my go-to job was always deliver pizza. It was my first job out of high school. And then like I switched jobs when my wife and I were first married, and I went back to work at Domino's. And like, as unglamorous as that seemed, I love delivering pizza. And also you make like at least $20 an hour and it's cash in your pocket at the end of the night. Cause it's a bunch in cash tips. Right. And so like, it's right. You technically get taxed on some of it, but like, it doesn't all get counted.
You don't have to claim it all.
Yeah. Don't audit me, please. But like, if someone needs something, like go to a Domino's, deliver pizza. You get to drive around in your car all night, listen to podcasts, you get to learn your neighborhood real well, and like you learn addresses and how that all works. But like it was good money and it was a good job. Like nothing to be ashamed of. Also, you get to leave with a bunch of fun stories of how you almost got murdered. But like those are stories for another day.
Lessons learned.
You get a lot of fun experiences when you're delivering pizza. Also, a lot of free pizza when you're delivering pizza. Go figure.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Free lunch.
Right.
Or dinner, depending what time you're delivering. I don't know.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's true. Or work at the Lego store and you get a big discount on Lego.
Yeah, but you're not making enough to live and buy Lego.
I'm sure Shy has opinions about working at the Lego store.
But I also wasn't at the bottom, though.
That's a different. Yeah, I'm talking about like as an entry level.
You mentioned supply chain, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious if there's a real supply chain issue or if it's like every gas shortage that we've had in recent years where it's like there's a perceived shortage and that causes an actual shortage, or it's like I bought a bunch of Christmas Lego sets because I assume they're not going to be available in December, right?
No, I wish that was the case. So, and this is what's concerning. It's like you watching the construction industry is like watching economies, before they're going to crash or skyrocket. So there's just a lumber shortage. There's an aluminum shortage. There is a steel shortage. It's all, there's a cardboard shortage, and that stuff gets reflected in construction. So if you go and you want to do a bathroom renovation right now to your house, it's going to cost twice or three times as much. If you go buy lumber, it'll cost twice, three times as much. And so what happens is like construction sites go on hold, costs go up, developers don't buy property, or they do buy up property. So like in 2008, like in Vegas, like when the crash hit, like developers came in and they just like pointed at houses and they bought like hundreds and tens of hundreds at a time, which is what's happening now with Zillow. Anyway, that's a whole funny, silly thing, but their algorithm got messed up and they are offloading about 7,000 to 8,000 homes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. But it's going to end up going to like developers. And it's really interesting because like the real estate market for homes that are under 500,000 basically have gone up almost 80-90%. So a home in like Boise, Idaho that was $250K is now like $500K. But
it's ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous. But the homes that were like 1.2 are like now 1.4. So that's it seems like a lot of money, but the percentage difference is like actually very, very dramatic. And there's a lot of risk there. So like people that have bought homes at those like lower price points, there's a lot higher risk for that to rebound, which is really, really problematic. And that's what's like a little bit scary at the same time. It's not the same thing as before with the mortgage crisis, but it's still scary. It like they're not giving out loans the same way they used to, but these are still long-term investments that people are doing, and they're paying mortgages on valuations that have skyrocketed. So
the funny thing is, again, as much as we all found each other randomly, the app that I build and work on as my day job is very boring, but our clients are economic development corporations or like economic development departments of city, county, local governments, like the city of Austin or the city of Dallas or whatever. Like they could be a client and they would use our app to run economic impact analysis. So they're trying to build new properties and new developments. They want to see like the net benefits to their general area, right? And when 2020 hit, we expected a drop off in our subscriptions. Like we have a subscription model and it's basically it's based on sentiment, right? And so if a local economy or government thinks they'll have a lot of new projects coming up, they should subscribe to our app so that they could run everything through the app and everything will be run for them. They can get the numbers really easily. We expected a drop off in 2020. We didn't see it. Like everyone, what we're assuming is the sentiment was that all of these small local governments, they assume that there would still be plenty of development, enough like new growth that they would still need our app's services. And so like we haven't seen a drop off. We've seen like regular growth and like plenty of subscription renewals throughout this whole last year. And I have no idea what it means for actual growth and development and like how many projects are really being developed, because technically everything running through our app is all theoretical. Like they want to see, like they're trying to run numbers so that they can sell these incentive packages to developers and whatnot, right?
Right.
And so like we have no idea. If a crash happened, it would affect us all. But right now, like the app is growing and people are using it, and so like it feels like the sentiment for developers, they think stuff is going to keep being built. But
they do, and developers are still building lots of stuff.
Okay, I was hoping you'd turn around in a second, but okay, you did. Never mind.
He's just gonna insert himself into the video or into the podcast.
Always.
Just he always has to be there.
Always.
The Oliver cameo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. Keep going. What?
I was
no. I think Josh was done, right? I just.
Oh yeah. It's to you. Yeah.
No, I just think that like a ton developers are still buying up places like crazy. They're picking up all of those Zillow homes.
Mhm.
I was looking at Central Florida. Like Orlando is a really interesting place because like a lot of tech companies are moving there. There's like conversation about SpaceX. There's conversation about Space Force. There's the connection to that. The next frontier is quite literally, we're pushing space and pushing AI and pushing, a lot of that. That's like really a lot of investment is going into that now. Like even one of my friends, he wants to transition. He's finishing his ER residency, and he's a vet, and so he's quite a bit older, but he wants to transition his career into basically being a space doctor, whatever the hell that means. I'm not sure
space
yet.
doctor. That's an awesome title.
Apparently, it's like basically like being CMO of like somewhere like SpaceX. And so, which is crazy. It's super cool. But anyway, so there's like all this stuff happening. And so like there are these certain areas like in Orlando and Central Florida that they are developing like crazy. And it's not just like one developer. It's like 10 of them are coming in. And there's like 7 elementary schools that is like popping up in this one region. And I don't know what they're just like infilling all this swampland. Like I don't even know the construction method of how to do that. Like that is so beyond my knowledge base. And
bring in dirt from Montana.
Apparently, exactly. It's just like it's really interesting. And where do those gators go? And whose pool are they going to swim into? But it's just anyway. So people are still flooding money into the market. The problem is there's like quite literally the wood and brick and tile that's needed for it is slowed down. But they are predicting that I think like spring and summer of next year it's going to be caught up.
I hope so, man. I'm trying to buy 2x4s. Like I'm just a normal handyman.
Yeah.
Build stuff is in my name. Yeah. And like I can't get a 2x4 for less than $7.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm buying stinking whitewood studs just because I don't need the full 8 foot. And so I'm like, whatever, give me this $3 crooked piece of junk.
That you're
just so I can
later.
It's not something structural. Like whatever, we're just doing. We have house projects ongoing continuously in our lives. And we've got a new project that we're building up that I'm working on this weekend that I need to truck all my tools out to a separate site. And all of a sudden we're going to have to do that now. And hopefully that's not going to be more money than it's worth. But boy, is it a fun time to care about economic development, right?
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
Thanks for listening to our economic development podcast.
Yeah.
The more you know.
And
we
the only one who's like
doing anything with,
Oliver's the only one who's in the Lego right now.
We talked about supply chain. It's hard to get wood, and it's hard to get the new Santa Sleigh Lego set because who knows if those are coming back in stock before December.
You guys think Home Alone's going to sell out?
Is it sold out now?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Isn't it like overproduced or something?
You all are acting like Home Alone's like a classic holiday movie. I would watch any Harry Potter movie as a Christmas movie before Home Alone.
How about Die Hard?
I would watch that before I'd watch Home Alone. Like I just don't. I liked it when I was a kid. I just don't have this attachment that apparently everyone else has an attachment to this movie.
What about Home Alone 2? It was based off the second movie.
Can't get it no more.
No.
Home Alone's done.
He was in New York. I couldn't care less about New York.
There are references to Home Alone 2 in the Home Alone set.
Don't spoil it. I'm waiting for the architect's review.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, that's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Oh.
Instead, I don't know. We'll either get that or maybe
I mean, it's already released already.
Yeah, they already know.
At the time this is, we know if you've succeeded or failed in your new schedule, which we're all very proud of you for following.
I'm gonna have a video tomorrow. It's one of 3 things.
Very proud. Very proud. Yes.
One of 3. So are these 3 videos done?
That was a visual no, not an audible no.
Don't be ridiculous.
Shout out to Spotify Video.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Man. How do we get heavy?
My bad.
These are unprecedented times, Shy. They have been unprecedented for stinking 23 months, right?
Has it been that long already?
I mean, I guess March is technically, we got a little bit more time before we're there, but
it's March 15th, or 14th.
We're almost to 2 years of this.
The funny thing is, we built, as a part of work, we're like, let's build a little like side app of like COVID predictions of how it may like affect you economically. And we built it in like April of 2020. We're like, look at that, we're ahead of the curve. And now like all of the predicted data that we used for that stupid little quick app is completely outdated. I don't even remember. It was like, how much money are you going to lose in the next couple of years? Good luck. Good luck, economic developers. Y'all want to talk about incentives? Y'all want to talk about everyone complaining about Amazon not paying any incentives? That's what my app does. My app gives you, it predicts incentives so that you can say, we'll move to your area, but it's going to bring these millions and millions of dollars to your area in the form of like side benefits and other like spin-off income and stuff that will come to your area. But because all that's coming to your area, the business doesn't have to pay any taxes. It's a weird gray area. Y'all want to get into how you can just pay for immigration rights through a whole different system of economic development? If you invest like $500,000 from China, they'll just give you like you and your family a green card.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries do that.
Like you separate side of things.
Yeah. You can do that in Australia too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other side of our business. I don't work with that side, but it's stinking fascinating as someone who like, I just build the web apps. I'm learning so much. It's so exciting. I'm having a good time, guys. I did not expect this episode to go in the direction that it went.
Nope.
It completely shot to the left in a good way.
No, Claire was out there like spinning this like wonderful motivational knowledge of be whoever you want to be.
The premise of this episode was, let's bring Josh who could just hang out.
Yeah, let's hang out.
What I said I want to hang out with Josh.
And then she's like, I'm going to devein some shrimp and I'm going to spit some fire figuratively, not like in a hip hop environment, but she's going to motivate people and hopefully someone out there is motivated.
I hope you made it all the way to the end of this. To hear that.
Yeah, to make
this has all been cut out a long time ago, right?
Just listen to us double time.
This is post.
On that note.
Thanks, Josh. Roll that music.
Roll that music.
How did we get here?
This has been fun, guys.
Now it's over. And now we're going to get to the part where I have to figure out what to play after the episode's already running.
This is going to be a doozy.